going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! Got anything to say?
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. I've got some cord. I've got some good cord tonight. I've got the first clip, which is on the thumbnail, which is, I don't want to say it's funny, but it's kind of funny. The defendant uses his time in court as a soapbox, and I really think that he knows he's on YouTube, which is why he does this. It's not the first time we've seen this defendant. The last time I remember covering him was, it was over a year ago, and he just sat there with his giant smile on his face and was obnoxiously polite, where it's fake polite. Yes, Your Honor. Absolutely, Your Honor. My pleasure, Your Honor. Like that kind of fake polite. And now he brings a sign and gives a little speech. And it's, again, kind of funny in its own way. And then we have a bunch of Judge Simpson. Thursdays are Judge Simpson Day. And, so I generally cover most of his docket on Thursdays because it's the best Judge Simpson Day. So we have a lot of Judge Simpson plus a soapbox. That's what we got tonight. I hope you enjoy it. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick back lips. Let's go.
Hi, Mr. Goheen Rango. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Good morning, Mr. Wheeler.
I'm doing good too.
Biggin raid right off the bat. Thank you so much, Biggin. I appreciate it. I was just over there. I was just there. We were having fun hanging out over there. This just started, so I don't have to catch you up on anything. We've got a defendant who, you're gonna see. Let's just say that nothing has happened yet. Isn't that special? Thank you so much for the 10 months. I do appreciate it. That is awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, Biggin, you are awesome. Welcome, Raiders. Again, you didn't miss anything. This one's good. It's good. Let's go.
Looks like you had the chance to talk to Ms. Gaffney and your matters are getting set over into January. Is that your understanding, sir?
My understanding was it was going to be pushed out a little bit further. I had something I was trying to discuss with her. I haven't seen her about any of my matters for several months. So we didn't have the time. We didn't have the time window for that. But I got partly way through it. So there is something that I'd like to briefly address on the record for my sake, Your Honor, to the court. And then I have some questions follow up for Your Honor.
So, Mr. Goheen Rango, if you give me just a moment, sir, I'm going to just get your next date set, and then I'm fine with doing that. So it looks to me like what's proposed is a speedy trial waiver on all three of the cases beginning on January 23rd. Are you in agreement to do a speedy trial waiver that day, Mr. Goheen Rango?
The only reason that I would be in agreement with it is that it would give me more benefit to win and to build a better defense. The only thing is, Your Honor, is that since the onset of any of these cases, I have seen I've asked intelligent questions to my attorney, zero progress in the building of my defense in all the past waivers of my speedy trial. So I'm wondering what's happening. I've given her specifics about what an investigator needs to look into on based on camera footage of each of the incidents, stuff like that. And I think nothing but good things about Mary K. Gaffney, personally and professionally. I don't know what's happening with my cases here. And so the long and the short. So for the record, if there's something I can say, is now the chance to do it, or are we going to push them out?
Again, I'm just going to try to do first things first, Mr. Goheen Rango, and again.
Oh, he's going to have his time to talk. Don't worry. We got it. Heather!
And the question was, on the three chart cases that you have,
Mhm.
Are you willing to be doing speedy trial waivers on those 3 cases commencing January 23rd of 2025?
I would prefer it put out further. I don't know how long they're gonna, I mean, I'm being held unlawfully right now. While I wait court dates here. So is there a limit at how far these can be placed out? So I can have time to work with her?
Yeah, I think
So
I think what the intention is, Mr. Goheen Rango, is not to set them
Yeah.
out so far, but certainly they're continuing to sort of follow along with the things that's going on in Superior Court.
Uh-huh.
So to us, I think the 23rd will be a check-in date to see sort of what is going on in those felony cases. If you're
Yeah,
okay.
but for my benefit, if I'm gonna waive my rights, I'd like it put out as far as I can because I might be released. It'll give me a bigger window for me to regularly get into the office and work with her on my defense there. So that was my responsibility to my own defense there.
So how far out are you asking to schedule to do your waivers?
I don't know if is there a time limit on how far you can put these out? I've always had like 2 or 3 months, but can you go further than that?
How about March 1st?
End of March would work better.
End of March, okay, Ms. Gaffney? Okay. So do you mind, Mr. Goheen Rango, if I do a waiver then beginning on the 31st of March? Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
And that's going to be on all 3 of the cases, and that's okay with you?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've for 10 years been having legal problems and been kind of tied up in the legal system. Among all the judges that I've seen in all those years, you're very kind, you're fair. I've seen you be stern to the point that you need to for best seeking justice and gracious to people. So I just want to I appreciate you very much.
Thank you. No, I appreciate your kind words, sir.
Yeah, I
So,
mean that.
just in terms of the mechanics of what we're doing, originally I had waivers with commencement date January 23rd. Mr. Goheen Rango has expressed some concern in regards to time frame with what he has going on. There has been an agreement, and I believe that Mr. Goheen Rango is making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver on all 3 of the charges with a commencement date of March 31st of 2025. Do I have that correct, Cleve?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to schedule out a future court date around that time. So that'll be the next time that we have you appear in court.
Right.
Ms. Gaffney, we're a little bit more sensitive to your schedule and when do you think you're going to be here in March? And I understand that we might not have things scheduled out quite that far, but do you have any idea of what a date that will work for you?
I'll be here, but see March 27th, please.
Okay. So Mr. Goheen Rango, it sounds like the next court date on these matters is going to be on the 27th of March, 2024. That's going to be at 10 a.m. on each one of the cases.
Hey, that's my birthday. It'll be easy to remember. We get to see this guy on my birthday. It was such a treat.
And certainly if there's changes in Superior Court or something of that nature, we can always have you come back sooner, or if you're out of custody, the expectation is we'll be seeing you either on Zoom or in person on March 27th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Is that agreeable to you?
Very good. Yep, I can do that. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
So, Your Honor, may I briefly address the court on the record for my sake?
So what I will tell you, Mr. Goheen Rango, is what I would tell any person.
Yeah,
You have the right to remain silent.
Of course. Judge Simpson, it is not your turn.
March 31st of 2025. Do I have that correct, Cleve?
Yes.
27th of March.
Sorry, guys. Welcome to the Colin stream. Judge Simpson, he was just interrupting. That's rude, Judge Simpson.
2024. That's going to be at 10 a.m. on each.
Your Honor, may I briefly address the court on the record for my sake?
All right, here we go.
So what I will tell you, Mr. Goheen Rango, is what I would tell any person. You have the right to remain silent. You've chosen to exercise that right before. If you do have something you want to tell the court, generally, attorneys advise folks not to talk to the court directly. But you did do the things that I asked you to do, and I want to respect the fact that you did that. So
Thank
if
you.
Ms. Gaffney does not have an objection, I'm going to hear you. Now, it has to be brief because we are running out of time and you're my second to the
Sure.
last person. But if you want to take 2 minutes and you want to talk to me, that's fine.
Sure, it might run a little bit over. Yeah, I'm actually missing my lunch hour here at the Clark County Jail. So it's okay, I'm
Well,
fasting
that
anyway.
makes two of us then, Mr. Goheen Ringo.
All right. Okay. And I do have a few questions afterward to follow up. I hopefully have time for that too. So the system's inherent prejudice. The system's inherent prejudice against the poor and disenfranchised is making them victims of human tragedies that often result from the bureaucracy's preoccupation with processing cases rather than rendering meaningful family-oriented solutions to social problems. Those less savvy often become lost in a nightmarish maze called social reform within the larger context of social apathy and decay. One problem that I've seen in about 8 years is a prosecutorial misconduct pattern. It's prejudicial error, and I'm working on a referral to the bar and the Department of Justice to initiate disciplinary proceedings for some of these multiple wrongs done to the people. The thing about prosecutors is they have a special obligation as prosecutors, as an administrator of justice and an advocate, whose interest, therefore, is not that it shall win a case, but that justice shall be done. They have a special responsibility, Your Honor, to pursue justice. The Supreme Court itself said prosecutors have an ethical obligation to prevent unfair prejudice, either by accident or by design. Their duty is to seek justice, not merely to convict. They are a representative of the sovereign. The accused is to be given the benefit of all reasonable doubts, and the Supreme Court also said one vision of justice is the appearance and reality of fairness and neutrality, that justice may be achieved by honoring constitutional dictates, particularly in the context of criminal trials. I think it's subsection, I don't know, it's SS 813.02 shows the responsibilities and regulations of prosecutors. A lot of the federal prosecutors have the benefit of a U.S. Attorney's Manual. These public defenders are up against prosecutors that don't go by the U.S. Attorney's Manual per the federal standard. But the long and short of it, I know my rights are being violated. I was in 3 years of AP government politics in high school, where I was put to the top of my class and voted by teachers and my principal, selected out of 300 graduating people in my class to go to Evergreen Boys State, where I was given awards of excellence there as well. So my questions for Your Honor today and to the court, on the record for my sake, so I can come back to this and find these minutes one day when I'm older and wiser. Is it lawful to punish a natural-born United States citizen for any crime before he or she has been lawfully convicted of the crime? Is the first question. Is it lawful to punish a natural-born United States citizen for any crime before he or she has been lawfully convicted of the crime?
Yeah, so I've given you the 2 minutes and I'm fine with answering the question. You know, I think I'll try to look at the camera rather than look down, but you have to understand you're down and I understand that I'm up. So I'm going to try to make eye contact with the camera. You know, it depends on the definition of punishment. Now, certainly as a judicial officer, one of the things that we're required to do is, of course, hold that presumption of innocence. I think that the challenge in doing that, and I understand why we're kind of washing towards a line of punishment, is when I set release conditions, let's say on a case that says no law violations. The person comes back and there's an allegation they violated the law again. And you've seen me Cleve, in court before, and I've set the person out again and say, okay, no more law violations. And the person comes back for the third time and there's another law violation. And I say, pretty please, no more law violations. And they come back and there's a fourth law violation. Now, at that stage on that fourth law violation, let's say I choose to take the person into custody. Now, you might say, Judge, you just punished that person, right? You're depriving them of their liberty. And I think that always my perspective is I'm going to do everything I can before I have to do anything that appears to be punishment, because you are correct in terms of a person not being punished without disposition on their case. Where that punishment slides into community safety, though, is when that person who's been drinking and driving now 4 or 5 times in a row. We know your mom is out in the community in La Center and is drinking and driving and endangering your mother on that 4th or 5th DUI. So is it punishment? It is certainly deprivation of liberty. Is the court able to do that in the overall arch of community safety? And I would say yes. So it's a nuanced question you asked. I always appreciate you, Cleve, because you do bring up good salient points. This is all the time I have for today, though. And again, I do appreciate your comments and questions. And again, I want to provide you. You were respectful to me. I will always be respectful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I try to be respectful to everybody, and I probably fall pretty short of that. You guys have a great responsibility, and for what it's worth, it's kind of a special time in my life to see. It's a window, and it's not like TV shows and stuff. And I do appreciate everybody. I just want to get through this all in one piece. So
Thank you.
Thank you,
Cleve. I
everybody.
appreciate your time today, sir. All right, so we're gonna go now. Are we ready on Mr. Briggs, Mr. Cheney?
We are.
Okay, and I'm just gonna ask you to tilt that microphone towards you or come up here just so Mr. Briggs can hear you. Mr. Briggs, if I could have you, sir, just state your name and date of birth.
All right, that was that one. Yeah, that was special. That was special. Welcome. You guys are awesome in the comments. Welcome to the worst TED Talk ever. Who signed up for this class? You guys are awesome. You're having me laughing over here. That was indeed special. You know what? I don't know how to top that. I don't. So we're just going to go to Judge Simpson since he rudely tried to interrupt this guy's TED Talk. I mean, who interrupts TED Talks? Come on. Before we do, I got to shout out a couple people. Bad Scooter, 11 months. That is awesome, Bad Scooter. Thank you so much. Sparkle Poots also rolling in with 11 months. Thank you both. And Brian for 4 months. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. All right. We're going to move on to Judge Simpson. As per usual, it is Thursday. And on Thursdays, spend a lot of time in Judge Simpson's court. It is one of his criminal dockets. And there's usually a lot of funny things, a lot of Mr. Allens, a lot of laughs. So, yeah, I went through this entire 6-hour docket, and I put it down to about 30 minutes. So let's go. You guys are awesome.
Court calls case People versus Jason Haas.
Michigan National for the people.
Oh boy.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hannah Mack requesting permission to practice under MCR 8.120 under Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger.
Where is it? Oh, as he wanders in. Permission to practice is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, can you state your name, please?
Jason Haas.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, at this time, we'd like to set this matter for a preliminary examination.
Is all discovery complete? Yes.
Yes.
And would the people have their witnesses available on the 26th?
We'll do our best.
All right. Preliminary examination in person will be set December 26, 2024 at 9 a.m. before Judge Fresh Hour. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Oh, why? Why did he come up? She was doing just fine.
Okay. Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Haas.
Welcome.
Thank you. I got a new suit for the occasion too. So
Wow,
Yeah.
that's new.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, that's not nice.
No.
Come on. Where's your,
I'm sorry. No.
where's your holiday
It's what I'm
spirit?
saying. It looks nice.
Wow.
It looks nice. I wouldn't have said anything. Brown said it.
Come on.
All right.
Your Honor, my client is $2 short on his $50 cash bond. We were wondering if you might be able to.
It's $2. What do you mean?
It sounds like he's got $48 and it's a $50 cash bond. We're wondering if you can either change it to $48 or give him a PR.
So is he held on something else? I mean,
I didn't see anything else that he's being held on, Your Honor.
Your Honor, in his history of criminal behavior,
Yes.
it's actually rather light compared to the high-level felony convictions he has. Home invasion second from 2009, armed robbery from 2009. It's a low-level felonies, retail fraud first, breaking a vehicle, larceny from a vehicle, larceny in a building, retail fraud first, R&O police officer. That's also including an OWI offense from the same incident. That's a high-level felony. Well, weapons possession, felony possession. So
Give me a second.
I scored him at 9 to 23 without the habitual, if that helps.
And Your Honor, as Mr. Ganacha said, this is relatively late considering his past, so we would ask for a PR on this at this point. He will be.
but was he held on something else?
I don't believe that he was. I don't see anything else that he's being held on at all, just this charge. I don't know why the cash bond was set that low or why it would have made sense. I agree with the court had he been held on something else to set a low bond on this. However, I don't see that he's not being held on anything else. I just confirmed that.
I guess, Your Honor, it's light in terms of criminal charge, but it was his grandmother's vehicle.
Excuse me?
He took his grandmother's vehicle.
Oh,
Allegedly.
allegedly. Motion for bond reduction to 9 when they defend it $2. I think it's an appropriate bond, I guess, under the circumstances.
Thank you.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
The facial expressions at the end of that. It's like, I guess you're gonna have to find the $2. It's an appropriate bond. Yeah, I mean, what? You have $48. Yeah, you come up with $2, man. I mean, there's probably a person in the jail that can give you the $2. Might cost you a lot more than $2. Yeah, anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Judge Simpson, thoughts?
Not in custody.
Oh, that's not nice.
Correct.
Make sure. Court calls the case People versus DeAndre Mitchell.
Assistant Public Defender Chinazi Carey. I can really, Your Honor, on behalf.
I can't look at who's actively in jail. There's a wall behind that. Yeah, I can't do that. Not that I know of. Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that or not. You know what? But I will try for you. I'll try for you and let you know.
Mr. DeAndre Mitchell. So, Your Honor.
Really? Well, nope.
Forwarded him the Zoom information.
And you're expecting that fast? How come it wasn't there before?
Well, so he was originally scheduled to be in person, but
Oh,
somehow
he just wasn't showing up.
he took an Uber from Garden City to the 15th District Court, which is what he indicated his paperwork said. And then 15th sent him to the circuit court. And then he took an Uber from the circuit court to, he said, the municipal building. And so I told him that he should.
What municipal building?
I couldn't, I was
You
gonna.
don't have that.
But he just said he has been to 3 different buildings trying to find out where his court date is. He finally called our office and I had stepped out to call him, and I asked if I could send him the Zoom link and then we would just give this wonderful explanation to his honor when the case was called, but it looks like he's yet to log in. But I did forward it to him. Could you pass the case and I give him another call, Your Honor? Please. I have spoken with him.
Wait, no. Don't ask.
Keep me out of it. We were gonna be requesting.
Okay, right, but. Okay. I'll pass it.
Okay.
You're so nice to.
Oh, come
Whoa,
on.
why is that? What do you mean? Like, that's a change? Oh, no, well, no. I'm not talking, no, what? No, no, it's like, you're like, everybody's trying to hurt my donuts.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Your Honor.
okay, I had a few. Great, good job, Kristen. Wrap me out that way.
I knew about it.
Wow. Do I change that much? What? You could have paused. Where did Akinwillie go? Okay, just let him know that if he doesn't show, she goes in. Court does call the case. We will.
Oh, that one was fun. I don't know if you guys remember, that was the exact same story she said last week. Last week when she started telling the story and it was for the wrong defendant, it was the same guy. It's 2 weeks in a row he's going to the wrong courthouse. Judge didn't remember that. I did. Cheshire Cat, thank you so much for the 6 months. That is awesome, my friend. I do appreciate it. All right, let's move on.
I got more to call. This is that here. Go get her. Please, I mean, I guess can you see if she can? She's just screaming. Why does she scream? Just grab her. She hasn't behaved since the time she came up here. Madam Recorder, could we please go on a separate record? Corporal Mahalik, can you please approach the podium? State your name, Corporal Mahalik.
No.
No. See, and that is the epitome of you.
Not doing it.
Yeah, I know. That is it. So you will be leaving us after almost a quarter century of service here at
Friday.
County.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. I said that I would try to do this and
I had a week. I had a
something for
week to
you
prepare
on
myself.
the record next week. However, I was informed that your attendance up to these last days has been kind of spotty. So what I said is,
Can you blame
hey,
me?
let's do this today. All right. And so while we're on the special record, and in all seriousness, one thing I want to say is I appreciate you not only in terms of transport and what you've done, have done a wonderful job. Also,
Thank you.
on behalf of myself and my family, we want to thank you. Because when Mr. Allen is out, you serve as my bailiff. You have done a wonderful job in that, with the exception of one thing. And I think people should know this. I get bailiffs and sometimes substitute bailiffs, and have throughout my 25-year career. In all of the bailiffs that I've had, or all of those who have filled in, they are given a list of duties that they need to do. They are also then instructed by my staff, this is what the judge wants to have happen. They then have a conversation with me that this is how I'd like to see things. In all of those years, Mahalik, you are the only one that said, much like you said today, no, I'm not doing that. I asked you to open court. No, don't speak in front of people. Can you swear them in? Nope, same thing. I'm not swearing them in. It became with you sort of although you would tell me that, there were times, typical of Mahalik, that she would then change her mind. And she'd decide that day, I'm going to do it. Or I'll swear this person in, but I'm not swearing that person.
Right.
It was always a hit or miss thing with you. But I will say that I have enjoyed my time with you, your time in chambers. And from the bottom of my heart, and I think you know this, I've said this to you, that I'm greatly appreciative.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I mentioned my family because my daughter particularly is always curious as to who is protecting your daddy, and I told her who it was. And so I say this, and I really do mean it. She is very thankful to you because Dad got home each day that you were here, and that means a lot to her.
Thank you.
All right. And again, thank you for your service. I said, and a lot of people don't know this, you guys were a husband and wife team.
Yep.
You said goodbye to your husband, I think last week or a week or so ago.
Yep.
And you guys are headed off to warmer places, let's
Very
say,
warmer.
because you are ready to go, especially today, right?
Yes.
But again, thank you so
Thank you.
very much.
Appreciate
Thank you for everything. We will, all of us here on the staff will miss you greatly. Your sense of humor and everything. Tried to purchase things on my Amazon.
Yeah. I tried.
All of that will be missed.
Thank
All
you.
right. Corporal, take care of yourself.
Thank you.
God bless you and Godspeed to you.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
All right.
I
Take
will
care.
be here.
Madam Recorder, if you could take that separate record, prepare it for Corporal Mahalik, and please provide it to her so that she may have the court's remarks into posterity. Thank you. Going back on record.
Sparkle Poots, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever seen a judge do that besides Judge Simpson. But we might just not see it. They might not do it on YouTube. I honestly have no idea. I would like to think that Judge Simpson is not the only one that does it, but maybe he is. Maybe that's just part of what makes him so special. I don't know. But I love that he does it on YouTube, so we get to see it.
He really is the only one that told me no. Ever. I said, it just isn't doing it. Court calls the case, People versus Benjamin Whitfield.
Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Drukas on behalf of Benjamin Whitfield.
Your name, sir?
Benjamin Whitfield.
Thank you. You need to take your hands out of your pockets.
I'm in two different things. I'm in receipt of a bond violation report. My client is also at two.
Yes. Which one do you want to deal with first?
Regarding the bond violation report, I mean, I'd like to waive this up and go deal with it in front of Judge Kunke. That would be
Sure you would.
what I would like to do, but
I'm sure.
regarding
Mr. Allen.
the positive tests, I'm not sure how the court would like to handle it.
Well, we might as well deal with the bond violation. I don't know.
There was a positive last Friday. It was negative.
The test after that. I've discussed with him going forward that in order to try.
Well, let's get clear, Mr. Drukas. I mean, just so that it's clear. On November 6th, he tested, there's the THC that's in there, and I don't know whether he has a medical marijuana card. He does have a medical marijuana card. The problem doesn't become that, it becomes the cocaine.
Mhm.
And then, so then it disappears from his system, which it normally would if he's not using or if we don't catch him on the right date in terms of testing. But then almost exactly a month later,
He was positive.
again, for cocaine.
I have discussed with him getting an intake to determine whether or not what kind of services he could use going forward. I've discussed with him, and
Has he been in treatment before?
he has done treatment before. He had brought up Lincoln Behavioral Services. He was going to get in contact with them. His father is here today. I've also gone over that information with him. I think the idea is to get that intake here over the next week or so.
Well, why wasn't it done before? Why isn't, I mean, when it hits in November, and I'm sure he was using before then, why didn't he do something then?
Well, I wasn't in receipt of any violation reports until yesterday.
Right, but he knows he's using.
Mhm.
So why hasn't he done something before then, is my question.
Can I say something?
Probably not, but you already started talking.
I'm sorry. I'm his father. My name is Daniel Phil. He reached out to me and asked me if I could, help him with this problem. And, he's trying. So I'm just trying to support him in any way that I can. He's working for me. He's got 4 kids and just trying to do, I'm trying to help him, to get off the drugs and to do the right thing. He's been working with me since Sunday night. We've been up all night working on the small construction company. And I'm just trying to keep him busy and trying to keep him away from the people that he's.
I don't doubt your sincerity in doing what you're doing. I mean, as a dad, I mean, I get you standing up because you're trying to figure out what you can do to make it right. All right. The problem is he's got to make that decision. And I don't think that he has, through your best efforts. I don't think that he has. And the problem for you is that you can keep doing it. You can keep doing those things, like you said, keeping him busy doing this. But if he hasn't decided that that's what he's going to do, it won't happen.
Well, Your Honor, I think he has, because him and I hasn't talked for months, and he's reached out to me. We had a bad falling out about this, and over the last couple of weeks, like I said, we haven't talked for months. So I think I do see him coming around. I'm not trying to mislead you or anything.
No, I don't think that you are, sir. I mean, what I'm listening to is the faith of a father. That's what I'm hearing. And that I don't have any doubt in. What you're telling me, I have no doubt in any of that. What I have doubts about is really what he wants to do. Okay? Because when I see testing like this, that's somebody that's going to kind of give you lip service, but isn't going to quite do the work. Because, young man, you're not set up in any treatment, are you?
No, sir.
Did you ask your attorney or anybody else to try to help you get set up in treatment?
No, sir. I'm taking.
What efforts have you made to try to get into treatment?
There was a step this morning, Your Honor.
Pardon?
There was a step this morning. We did discuss going into a treatment facility and getting an intake.
Oh, I get that this morning. Right? But the test was a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably used before that test actually happened. The test was on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing. His dad's been trying to do what he can do with him. Nothing. And it's not until he gets here this morning and he's facing something that he decides that I'll say whatever.
We did talk about treatment. He said he'd be willing to.
Right. I'm not doubting any, sir. Understand what I'm getting at. I'm not doubting any of that. What I'm saying is, I can say I'm going to walk from here to there. Until I take that first step, I haven't done anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not going to keep manipulating me or the court. If he doesn't go, I'm done with him. That's why we had to fall out. I told him I'm not going to be associated with this nonsense. And if he doesn't,
But get this, sir. And it's not your own fault.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Oh, yes, sir.
He's,
I understand
but
that.
what I'm saying is he's manipulating already. The only reason he has those conversations that he's having, and then the conversation this morning, is because he's caught. And he's still, although having those conversations, he gets here this morning, between then and now, hasn't done anything. Hasn't made that step. Then he gets here this morning.
Excuse me. Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
I made a step by coming. A big one.
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
talk-
that
I
step.
got here. I got right up, came to court.
But sir, listen. The
I
choice
understand
on that is, yeah, you don't come today, you're gonna get a warrant, I'm gonna get you.
Right.
So that's just the cold hearted reality of that. Okay, so I don't know how much of a step that is. If you think the step of walking in here knowing that you're facing a violation is tough, that's why you haven't done anything for treatment, because that's a tougher step. That's why you haven't done anything. And you will say and do anything not to do that. I've been dealing with addicts for a long time. Some of it your fault, some of it not your fault.
So
Go ahead.
just regarding the violation, at this time, I don't know if the court's going to remand him, whether they're going to.
Here's what I'm gonna do. He wants to make a step. He's gonna tell me that he's doing it. He's trying to tell his dad that he's doing it. He's talking the game and not doing it. I am gonna revoke his bond. I'm going to remand him. I'm gonna set it for December 26th. In between then, there are individuals at the jail that can work on inpatient. He can work on inpatient with you to try to get him into a program. I will sign virtually any order if he will get himself into treatment. Because the cold hard reality is, as hard as dad tries, as hard as everybody else is trying, one day somebody's gonna wake up, this young man's not gonna be alive. And then nobody's gonna have another shot at it. I've seen it happen too many times.
Thank you, Your Honor. This will be adjourned to a PCC the 26th.
On the 26th, I'll adjourn this matter to December 26th, 2024, 9 a.m. Defendant's bond at this time is revoked. And Mr. Drukas, if we get something, I'll consider release if we get something in place.
I'll keep in touch. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Dad, thank you for coming down. I know you don't want to see that, and I didn't want to have to do that, but
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Yeah, that one we had a I don't really have any words. I am happy that Judge let the dad talk. A lot of judges wouldn't have, and then the small shout out at the end. I think Dad gets it. He gets it. Hopefully that kid gets his life together. He's got 4 kids. I shouldn't call him a kid. All right, let's move on. I think is the next one Barry Sanders. I hope the next one's Barry Sanders.
Court calls the case. People versus Bryant Murphy.
Yes.
And Alex Warren Green on behalf of Mr. Murphy.
It's Barry Sanders.
Lions.
Bryant Murphy.
You don't even know who's that. Whose jersey is that? Whose jersey is that?
Barry Sanders.
Billy Sims.
Yeah, Billy Sims. Yeah, come on. Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right.
All right.
It's a great number, though. It is. You have community corrections.
Yeah. State your name.
Brian Murphy.
Why did you go to community corrections?
So I was out in Detroit. I went there when I got out of jail. And they told me because Ypsilanti police lost my phone and I didn't have the money that day. So they said the lady, I guess the probation officer said she was going to call me. But I had no phone because the Ypsilanti police lost my phone. So I had no contact.
And Your Honor, I did review this report with Mr. Murphy. He would have gone this morning. They need a new referral if the court would.
Was that this wasn't the flat tire, was it?
No, that was.
Okay.
Your Honor, I believe if the court were to re-refer Mr. Murphy to community corrections, he would go today.
If I test you today, would you test clean?
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Murphy about that.
That's when the attorney starts entering. We got a problem.
Believe there may be some.
She's the defendant waiting for her case to be called. That's it. Her case wasn't that interesting. That's why she's not in the video, but she's here a lot. But yeah, that's it. She's just a defendant waiting for her case.
Lingering THC, but I believe he'll be clean for all other substances, and he is working on getting his medical marijuana card. He tells me he will not use any substances.
So you're not going to come back clean?
No, sir. No, sir. Not for marijuana.
I'd hate to throw Lynn Bernie in jail.
I was honest.
What?
I was honest.
Oh, so you get a medal? Never mind. Shouldn't you be always?
Yes, sir. In some situations. Some situations.
All right.
I'm honest today, though.
Just you need to stop talking. Here's what I'm going to do. What was he on? Standard testing?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a standard supervision and drug testing.
All right, standard testing. I'm also going to want you to report over to community corrections where you have the funds to do that.
Yes, sir.
I want a week. I want a test. I'm going to do 2 times per week at this point. But you're to test today.
Your Honor, so when I do report 2 times a week, does the marijuana stay in your system 30 days? So I have 30 days to clear it?
Your Honor, I think what Mr. Murphy's saying is that
No,
the levels
he's
will
saying.
be dropping
He's saying,
over the.
don't I have 30 days that I can smoke?
No,
No, that is what he's telling me. No, I know what he's telling me. I know, you know what?
Then I drop 30.
I've been doing this too long. I know you'll drop 30.
I don't want to violate for the same thing. I know it takes 30 days to get out. So next time
How you know all that?
I've been on,
Yeah, okay, never mind. Don't be saying anything. You start telling yourself. No, I know that, but we can get levels.
Exactly, Your Honor, and I think those levels will be dropping in
I would
privilege when
hope.
he's prescribed.
However, what he wanted me to do was to test him 30 days from now. Because he wanted to keep smoking for a while.
No, sir.
No, okay, all right, fine.
No,
I'm just
sir.
saying.
I just say want to keep violating, because I don't know how. I never been on no probation or nothing. So I don't want to come in here the next time I see you and then I violate for the same thing again. So I was asking a question. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pass the matter. You're going to go over to community corrections. We're going to see what your test looks like. The only thing that's going to show up is marijuana?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Well, I know you're positive. Never mind.
All right.
You go over to community corrections and test. Then you got to come back here.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, it is a Sanders jersey.
Judge Simpson.
Why you say that to me, man? No. See, that's a fight. I don't think he knew what he said. Court calls the case.
Is that the last in that block till the main three? I'm sorry.
This is a recall from earlier. Gentleman never made it to community correction.
Oh. Whose case is that?
Mr. Warren Green. Barry Sanders.
Still running through the airport. Yeah, I know. He tried to do no jam. Watch. I'm gonna show how that works.
What if there's a white Bronco?
Wow. Wow. Oh my. Okay, thank you for that save.
Good there, right?
She wasn't born.
I was working, no, I was so
No, I just didn't hear you.
I'm so afraid.
It's out of control. Court does call the case of the.
Yeah. After all that, Barry Sanders did not go to community corrections. He went back out to the parking lot and dipped. Yep. Now he's got a bench warrant. Can't wait to see him back. You know the joke. The joke's never gonna. It's not gonna end. The O.J. Simpson joke and the Barry Sanders joke. The next time Mr. Murphy pops up, yeah, he's gonna be in orange though, or green. Is it green there? I think it's green there, right? Yeah, I think it's green. All right. We still have one or two more Judge Simpson cases left. Let's keep it moving.
Court does call the case People versus Anderson Keller.
Ashley Lundy for the people.
Correct. Brown, Deputy Chief Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Anderson Keller. Your Honor, this is the first case he's saying today. And it could have been earlier. I could have been here earlier, but Mr. Keller had better ideas. So there is good news and there's bad news. Oh, the good news, remember last time we were here and Mr. Keller was not here, and I said, if you gave us an adjournment, I would have Mr. Keller. You did. Find him. Well, we found him. That's the good news. Yes, you did find him. So I'm thinking, from here on out, whenever there's a bench warrant, I should get an adjournment so I can find my clients like I did. He's in jail. Oh, you want to trade it off on another case? No, I'm saying, from here on out, whenever. Oh, just from here on out? Yeah, because I did what I promised. Mr. Allen, that blind squirrel that finds a nut and gets the whole tree. And he wants the whole tree for the rest of his life. No, that's not what's going to happen. So here's the bad. Oh, now we'll get to the bad. Mr. Keller was so hurt by the bench warrant that was issued that he's refused to join us.
Your Honor, he's still pending competency, as far as I can tell. So I think.
Yeah, when were we supposed to have a report?
He was one of those that we discovered there was an issue.
There was an issue with the.
So I'm not sure when we will have one, but I hope so.
Okay, let's do this. Let me. Because I usually try.
Toby, I will do my best to answer that after this clip during the next break. But I do want to answer that for you.
Try to line these up, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjourn the competency to January 30th, 2025, 9 a.m. Of course, if we get the report earlier, we can have it up on the docket.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Well done for your only case. Anything else?
All right. We still got a few minutes left. But let me, Toby. That's a good question. So, A lot of times I just start by sending them an email. I look up their public email address, goes to the courthouse, generally goes to their clerk, and then they will forward it to them. Most judges that I've talked to, I've talked to their clerk first. So their clerk will respond and just be like, yeah, what are your intentions essentially? Like, it's like the protective dad. And, just tell them and they'll forward me to the judge. And that's how I generally start conversations with them. But not always. So Judge Simpson knows me just because I go there a lot. And I've met him. So I stayed at the end of one of his dockets and I met him. And so he remembers me now. And Judge Middleton, kind of the same thing where I sent him an email, or no, I called him. I called his courthouse and left him a message asking for an interview. He called me back and told me he doesn't do interviews. He's not going to do any more interviews for the time being. And then when I visited him, all I said was, "I'm Colin. I actually talked to you on the phone a few months ago," and he instantly remembered me. So just, being polite and, reaching out in a respectful way. And, sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. I mean, the list of judges and attorneys that I've reached out to that haven't responded or just responded a couple times and then ghosted me far longer than the ones that I've talked to. So there's also that. It's like, it's a game of numbers almost. But I do appreciate the question. And it was a very good question. Sparkle Poots. Speaking of respectful, Sparkle Poots, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for this super chat. I do appreciate it. Just cuz. All right. We've got, I think, one or two more because we're going to end on a kind of funny one. And I know there's still one more Mr. Allen. I think we have the Mr. Allen and the kind of funny one. And then we're off to get ready for our Friday.
Thank you. Court recalls case people versus Collins.
David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Yeah, absolutely. No one's ever been rude to me. There was one judge that kind of put a distasteful taste in my mouth that I could have phrased that sentence better. I'm not going to say what judge it is. For those of you that have been on the Discord calls, I've told you this story before, but I was pretty much set up for an interview. We were going back and forth by emails, and they were asking me a lot of questions. What questions they're going to ask. How. Just basic interview setup. And then when it came to set a time for it, they ghosted me. And all of a sudden, they had a meet and greet with the judge at their courthouse with a list of pre-written questions, and they were all questions from my email session with the judge back and forth. So I was like, oh man, like that kind of hurt me a little bit. I still like the judge, but yeah, that one kind of hurt a little bit. They used me to get questions, and then yeah. But anyways, that they didn't do, yeah, I don't know. I'm over it now though. I felt hurt, back in January when that happened. So it's been a bit.
Mr. Collins, sir, I have the results, and I'm going to ask you one time. Is there anything you want to tell me that's different than what you had indicated to me?
I'm done.
Good day to get it happened.
I did take a detox just to make sure I was trying to be clean, but I never.
What?
I took a detox to make sure I was clean because they kept saying I was dirty and I was not smoking. After that, I did not smoke.
Yeah, I don't believe it. This is impossible for it to happen. You have the trend lines.
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
You have them.
Yeah.
Right. It's impossible.
People have them as well, Your Honor.
What did you want to do on this case, Mr. Goldstein?
Your Honor,
I did discuss this with Mr. Collins. I thought he was going to have his card. He had a card at one time and then it expired and he was supposed to get it
He's
renewed.
not doing anything he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to be using. He's also supposed to have a card. He doesn't have a card. He's just violating the bond. And quite frankly, I believe just lying to me. Mr. Allen. What did you want this set for, Mr. Wilson?
We want it set for an exam, Your Honor.
You have all the discoveries you believe other than
this is
one issue.
Yeah.
People would have their witnesses available on the second.
We'll try, Your Honor. Thank you.
Will that work for you, or I can do the?
Your Honor, I have an 8:30 in another court. I can come sometime that morning. I might not be here right at 9
I
o'clock.
think the second is the next one up me.
It would be you.
At noon. It would be at noon.
Oh, okay. That's
Will that
fine.
work?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Then I will set this for preliminary examination in person, January 2nd, 2024 at 12 noon. That is before me. Defendant's bond is hereby ordered revoked. Defendant's remand. Is he up? Is he there? Court does call the.
All right. Yeah, you're right, Wixom. He doesn't. The guy, right? The Barry Sanders guy almost got a pass for marijuana, and he didn't go test, which tells us he had something else in the system. All right, I think this is the last one. I know what I'm ending it on. I'm gonna let it play for a second.
Court calls the case of the people versus Natalie Goose.
Yep, this is it. This is the last one. This is a funny one, mainly because Judge shouts out Cincinnati, and it's my hometown, so shout out Cincinnati. That being said, I am going to let this play out. This clip is only about 2 or 3 minutes long, so I am going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the super chats, the membership milestones. You guys are awesome as always. Yeah, so I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to go look to who we're going to raid. I know KCC was live earlier, so it's not going to be her, even though I've been waiting to be able to raid her. She's never on when I'm finished. It's probably going to be Lone Wolf. I don't know who else is live, but we'll see. We'll see. If it's anyone besides Lone Wolf, I'll let you know before we head out. But again, you guys are awesome. Big and Raiders, thank you so much for coming over. Big and you are awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys have a great night. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Until next time, bye.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Dan Garrett on behalf of Ms. Guzman. Can you state your name, Natalie?
Natalie Guzman.
Guzman. She actually said that before. I didn't remember.
Okay.
You didn't either.
I didn't either.
Okay.
Did it wrong.
All right.
Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment. There should be a green form in the file.
Yes, there is. Okay. You say it's ongoing. Is it gonna? You need a lengthier adjournment? Is that?
We're asking until the 9th, Your Honor. Mr. Childers and I have talked about a possible resolution. I'd like to get some information to.
Fair enough. Probable cause conference, January 9th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
You know, Your Honor, I can't get out of here without asking for travel requests. You know that, right? And you're gonna love where she wants to go. Are you ready to tell the judge?
No, I didn't. I just looked. I didn't miss a super sticker. Are you doing that thing where people tell me I missed something and then it makes me pause it to look and then I realize that I'm an idiot for falling for that? I think you did it. I think you just did it. Yeah. All right. We're raiding Lone Wolf. You guys have a great night. Until next time. Bye.
Where you want to go?
Ohio, but I don't cheer for the Buckeyes.
Ohio. Why?
Family. I would
You
have them
actually have
move
family
if
there
I
to
could.
admit? Go ahead. What?
I said I would have them move if I could, but
Well, Ohio's a big state. What part of Ohio?
Cincinnati.
Okay, that's good because that's really almost Kentucky.
Basically the South.
So that it really almost
Exactly.
works. All right. Any objection to that of the people? What's the dates?
The 21st to the 28th
Of this month, yes.
of this month of December.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He traveled to Ohio on purpose, December 21st. That includes your travel time, your travel.
Yes,
All right.
yeah.
December 21st through December 28th. All right, that travel is permitted.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Only if she says that she'll get her family to move. All right.
Eventually.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Have
Honor.
a good holiday.
Cincinnati in the house, of course. Cheshire Cat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I didn't. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you about it tomorrow because I'm going to tell you about it right now. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Cheshire Cat. I appreciate it. Go tell Lone Wolf that I am such a better streamer than him. I know I told you guys last night I would think of something else. I have not yet. Got to think of a better joke now. That one's old. All right, you guys are awesome. Bye.
No, I think we put it under other.
Yeah, that's good. Let you do that. Okay.